Hey guys, welcome back. If you've never seen my face before, no worries. My name is Violet, and I am here to talk about my student journey, I guess. I am currently a student at George Brown College in Toronto. My program is the Bachelor of Interpretation from American Sign Language to English, which is just basically translating, interpreting two languages, and I'm learning how to do it by perfecting both languages. It's very intense. So, how did this start? Because this is my story time. So, how did this start? How did I get into this? Well, I expect future Violet to watch this like way down the line, and she's going to be really embarrassed. This is going to be really embarrassing, but we're going to put it out there anyway because I am tired of being afraid. I would like my confidence to grow, and also I would like to be able to watch my journey. I want to see myself grow. So, I apologize for my cat meowing in the background. He's mad that I didn't let him in here. Okay. Anyway, we're going to start back from the beginning. So, how did this happen? I am a hearing person, and I didn't meet a deaf person until I was 19, I think. So, how did I end up in an interpreting program? Good question. I'm going to tell you all about it. Okay, so I am from a very, 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 very small town. It's not even a town, it's actually a village, and it's just all white people. All white people, and the only deaf people are the old people that can't hear because they're old. And they get hearing aids, and you still have to yell at them. It's the whole process. But nobody that identifies as deaf who uses sign language. So how did I get into it? It was just one of those things that I happened upon. It really was something that one summer, I was 7, my mom took us for ice cream at the Dixie Lee. If you know what the Dixie Lee is, they're fries. And anyway, sorry, off topic. But my mom my siblings and I took us to a Dixie Lee one summer when I was 7, and there were these two girls sitting in a booth, and they were signing, and it was the first time I had ever seen it that I can remember, and it was the most beautiful thing I have ever seen, and I was so impressed by it that I couldn't stop staring, and I was like poking my mom. I was like, "Mom, what is that? What is that?" And she said, "Don't stare, that's rude." But she said one of those girls might be deaf because that's sign language. And I was 7. I was like, dead? But they're both just sitting there. No, honey, deaf. That means that they can't hear. So one of them maybe can't hear. And from there, I just kind of knew that I wanted to learn that. So way back when the good old TV show Switched at Birth, some of you know that. Okay, well, anyway, the TV show Switched at Birth came out, and I started watching it, and I was thoroughly impressed. One of my absolute favorite episodes is the one where there's absolutely no sound. I love just watching the sign language. It's beautiful. It's like a dance. I am awed by it every single day. And I started teaching myself the basics, the go online, learn the alphabet, like A, B, C, D, E, F, like all the way. So I started teaching myself just in case I met a deaf person. I'm like 12 at this point, just in case I met a deaf person. Hi, my name is Violet. Nice to meet you. Very simple stuff, like easy, find on the internet how to introduce yourself. And I started learning how to do finger spelling, which is when you spell out your name, different words, that's what it's called. It's finger spelling. Very simple to remember, finger spelling. So I started teaching myself how to do that, and I did it pretty regularly all through high school. I wanted to become an interpreter, but I didn't know that was a profession yet. That's later. So I knew I wanted to do something with sign language, and I thought, I'll teach it, because I thought that was the only option. But somebody, and I still for the life of me can't remember who it was, told me at some point that I am not deaf, and I'm not, so I can't learn sign language. And because I had no experience, I didn't know anything about the community, I had no connections, I believed them. Because what do I know at that point? Nothing. So, yeah, looking back, that was a bad. Trust in yourself, Violet. Trust in yourself. Anyway, off point. But, so I thought, oh man, well, I guess I'll just be an English teacher, because I guess that was my only other option. Can't do math, can't do science, suck at geography. So I resigned myself to English and said, oh, well, I guess I'll just have it as a hobby, I guess. So a couple years passed. I'm in grade 11. I'm like 17 at this point, and I find out that I can be an interpreter, because that's a way that hearing people can step into the deaf community, respectfully, of course, and support the communication barrier and break it down. Not support the barrier, but break down the barrier and support the deaf community without saying, oh, let me help you, you need help. And there was a lot of things that I didn't know about the deaf community that I know now that I can go into in another video, just kind of, how my mindset changed and different thought processes and stuff, and things that I didn't know were rude that I used to think that are now, obviously I know you don't do that, but another video, that's separate. Anyway, I found Carleton University, and they had a 4-year program for psychology, which I thought was a very good pairing for ASL, and also a minor in American Sign Language. So I went. So I have a Bachelor of Psychology and a minor in ASL from Carleton University. And then after that was done, I applied to George Brown once I found that program. And the application process was not entirely hard, but the test. Oh my God, the test. So they give you 2 sides. Makes sense. One side in ASL and one side in English. And they test your fluency, I guess is the best word, in both. At that point, I was like, I have 4 years of practiced ASL under my belt. I'm good. I'm good. I was not ready for that test. I passed somehow because I'm in the program now, but I was not ready for it. And so far, I have learned so many things that I had zero idea about. I've learned that interpreting is very hard. It uses parts of your brain that I have neglected for a long time. So here I am, second semester. I passed the first one somehow. It was a miracle, but we did it. It's currently February, and I'm a month into the second semester, and I'm learning the big stuff. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. That's the backstory of me. It's not very exciting. I'm not very exciting. Future me might disagree. But anyway, this, again, purely for me, but if you want to watch it, sure, cool. Thanks for joining and, watching me embarrass myself all the time. I also am very nervous about being on camera, so this is kind of a confidence thing as well. As an interpreter, you have to be comfortable, like, standing in front of a crowd or a group of people, or even just, like, talking to people. And so this hopefully will help me be better with the eye contact, which is very, very important. Whereas in English and just other speaking cultures, I can not look at you and it's fine. I can look away over here and I can still talk to you. But with ASL, you must. Because eye contact is very, very important. And I say that as I'm staring at myself and not my camera. Anyway, so that's where I'm from. That's how I saw it. That's how I learned it. This is where I am. And we're going to continue getting better. Have a good day, guys.